Hey, Nighthawks!
We're academic coaches at UNG,
and we spend our days in coaching conversations,
talking all about your success in college,
the tough moments, the little wins,
understanding your strengths and the skills you need to thrive.
We're here to share real coaching moments,
offer you practical strategies,
and simple steps that you can apply today.
We believe you have what it takes to succeed at UNG,
and we're cheering you on every step of the way.
This is Nighthawk Coach Talk.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Nighthawk Coach Talk. I'm your host today, Sarah Shafer. I am one of the academic coaches here at UNG.
And I am Marin. I'm one of the peer coaches at UNG on the Dahlonega campus.
Marin, thank you for being here with me today for our episode on how to get organized and staying organized.
Yeah, happy to be here. It's a very important topic. So,
what do you think of when you think of an organized person?
I think of someone who has a lot of their life. I feel like that's the one thing people say is they have their life together. Like
Okay.
they have, everything put together. I feel like usually someone who has a lot of like systems that work for them, or they have, maybe other people don't understand it, but they understand it in their head. They just know of everything. Things don't slip their mind. Like they just come across as very put together is what I think of.
I think of the person who has like a very tidy desk.
Yeah.
And color codes everything.
Yes.
Or have you seen people that have planners that have like also beautiful illustrations in it? Like not only have they written down things they've drawn, beautiful images next to it, and they have reminders and cool pens.
Yeah, it's always the pens, like the pens, markers, highlighters, like they are on that.
Well, we hear this a lot in the realm of academic coaching is I'm not an organized person, or I don't like using a paper planner, or I don't know how to color code things. You do not have to do these things to be an organized person. This episode falls under our Wings Up segments, and we are here today to offer tips, tricks, and encouragement that is practical, easily applicable, realistic for a busy student.
Yeah.
What do you find is challenging about staying organized in college?
I would say in college, the hardest part about staying organized is there's a lot going on. You have, academics to keep track of, social things to keep track of. Everyone kind of does it differently. Like there's not just like a one size fits all with that kind of thing. People have different schedules. They have different things going on, different assignments. So I think in college, you really have to figure it out for yourself. And that can be hard because, people do different things. They work for them. It might not work for you. And that can be not the most encouraging thing. You're like, it works for that person. Why isn't it working for me? I'm just not an organized person. But I think it just takes some experimenting, which can be tricky.
That's so true. I wish when someone came into my office for coaching, I could just lay out how to be organized.
Right.
But it really is such a individualized thing. And so in coaching, we are very client-led. And so we're going to follow the student and find a way for that person to stay organized and that works for them. And that takes some digging around and figuring out.
Because it's a lot about habit building, too. I feel like you try something, and if it doesn't become a habit, it's not going to work. So it's about doing it over and over again and building that habit, which, again, it has to do with finding something that works. If it's not working for you, you're obviously not going to do it, and it won't become a habit. So,
yes. My favorite tip when it comes to trying to become more organized is to start where you are. So I tell students a lot, if you are already using just your notes app on your phone to jot some things down and keep track of some things, even if it's not fully functioning, but you do it most of the time, start there. Like keep using your notes app. Let's talk about how you can use it in a more efficient way, but that's already a little bit of a habit for you.
Yeah.
And so I think it's easier to start where you are instead of trying to reinvent the wheel. Have you ever gone out and bought like a brand new planner with great ideas and then never
gets
it?
used?
Yes, I have done that before so many times. I've bought new things that I think are going to help me stay organized, and then I don't even use them.
Right. Yeah, that is so true. It's just, if it's not on your head, if it hasn't worked for you, it's hard to make it into a habit that you continue over and over again. And so I think your point of it's not reinventing the wheel, it's just about take what you already do and just kind of like fine tune it or like kind of expand on it. You're way more likely to actually apply it in that way, I feel like.
When you entered college as a freshman, can you remember back to, well, Marin is a senior.
Yeah.
So I'm asking her to recall, do you remember how you were staying organized at the time and maybe how you had to shift that?
Yeah. My biggest thing is I did not use a calendar at all.
Okay.
No matter, I had always been told you should use like a planner, but I would buy, the cute little planners and I never used them. I think it was difficult for me to like pull them out of my backpack when I was in class. I never had time, the teacher ends their lecture, they tell you all the things you have to do. I didn't have time to pull out my planner and sit there and write it in and then put it back and then go to my next class. Like it just felt like kind of clunky to me. So that didn't work for me very well. And I just got overwhelmed. I started to miss things, like double up on some days. So I very vividly remember not having any I didn't write anything down, even like on my phone, whatever. So as it went on, I discovered that was not going to work. I discovered that paper planners were not for me also. So I started using my phone. And I started to use Google Calendar just because I had heard people talk about it. They liked it. And it's very easy to learn. I'm not good at things that require a lot of I don't like putting things into really tiny categories and really overly separating them. It's just so easy to just put it as a task on a certain day. I can just click it, type it in, and then at least it's off my brain and in my phone. So that's really worked, and I've just continued that for the last 3 years, and it's worked really well for me. Okay.
So you're a task girl in a calendar.
Yes, yeah. So if you look at my calendar, it's I have some events in there, things that I have on a certain day, but I put all of my assignments in as tasks, so I kind of share it between the two of them.
Sure.
And it's so easy, if someone asks if I want to do something, I can just pull it up and immediately I put it in right away. And that's been very nice, and it's very easy, and it's the first thing that my mind goes to now. So just all about that habit building.
Yeah. So I'm so glad you mentioned putting your assignments in as tasks, because I feel like the largest portion of staying organized in college is keeping track of assignments. Would you say so?
Yeah, I definitely would, because it has a big effect on your grade. It can really affect your motivation if you're not doing well in a class. It takes some off of your mind. So I would agree with that.
And you have to organize your life, right? Your commitments and work and things like that. But I feel like maybe the biggest hurdle is just tracking all of these different assignments from all of these different classes that all have a different syllabus.
Yeah, for sure.
When students are looking to get more organized, what is one of the things that you would coach them on to keep track of their assignment?
My first thing I would ask about their syllabus, if they've looked at it. I feel like a big part of organization actually can be prepping, almost doing the work maybe ahead of time so you can follow that throughout the rest of the semester or whatever time period. So looking at the syllabus, and I think you can get a lot of information just from taking that first step.
I tell students all the time that they have to pull everything from the syllabus and put it somewhere.
Yeah. That's For you,
it's your calendar. I had another student, it was a notes app.
Yeah.
For me, it's often a to-do list for the next week. It could be 1 week, 2 weeks, just of what's coming up next. But I think it's worth asking yourself, how can I pull all my due dates and put them somewhere.
Yeah, that's a good way of explaining it, because also then at least you're looking at them. You like have an idea of maybe how the class is laid out. For example, one of my summer classes right now, they have the same schedule every week, so I know all my stuff is due like on Thursdays at 9 p.m. So at least in the back of my head, I always kind of have that. So if for some reason I don't look at my calendar or something, I kind of remember it.
Yep.
So at least that's a good way of just kind of looking at it. And then I know some people who like put it in Excel spreadsheets.
Oh.
And they like follow it throughout the semester, which for me, I'm not sure that would work, just because I don't know if I could sit down and like type out all my due dates and like really organize it that tightly. But at least then you have it somewhere you can easily just like glance at it.
Oh, that's a great tip and trick. Like,
Yeah.
That's a great tip, though, for some of our listeners that they might love that.
Yeah.
I used to try to do double paper and digital.
Oh, wow.
Because, and I think this still, sometimes I still do this. Sometimes I think it works, but sometimes don't overcomplicate it. But I don't always have my planner with me. And then I would panic and not remember what was happening and going on. But I enjoy writing things out. So I kind of had a double system where everything went into a calendar, a digital calendar. But I enjoyed also having a paper planner. So I have talked to people that do both, because the paper always snags people when you're like, oh, I left it.
Yeah.
It's in my car. It's in my room. Or I left it at home when I went for the weekend. I've had other students say that. So something to think about. Let's talk about some of our favorites, because we're kind of already leaning into that. Some of our favorite tools that we love when it comes to staying organized. We've talked about calendars, planners, but what other resources do you love that help you stay organized?
What other resource? Well, I guess it kind of goes along with the calendar, but I have a big whiteboard calendar in my room. Did not think, I thought it was kind of similar. It's a really cute calendar, honestly. That's the reason I got it at first. I was like, this is a cute little wall decoration. But I actually started really using it, kind of like you a little bit with your paper calendars, how you enjoy like writing on it and that like the act of writing things down. I kind of enjoy that with the whiteboard. It's easy to change things around, easy to erase something and move it. And also it's the last thing I glance at before I leave my room. So it's easy to just kind of, look at it really quickly and just remember, oh, I have that due or whatever tonight. Oh, I have that due. I have my exam the end of this week. It's just easy. You just kind of glance at it when you're in your room. So I've really enjoyed that. But it's not the most detailed thing in the world because, it's not always, I don't want to write down all the little tiny things, but all the bigger things that are, just important to remember are really handy to put on there.
No, Marin, visual reminders, I think, are huge. And I think that can be a hurdle with staying organized with even digital calendars and paper planners, is that we're not constantly looking at them, right? Like your digital calendar isn't mirrored up on your TV. Right. It's in an app in your phone and on your devices. And so visual reminders are important. And so maybe for our listeners, another action item would be to think about how could you visually stay organized. For you, it's a whiteboard. Some people, it could be Post-it notes. What are other visual... trying to think. I mean, even reminders on your phone that they pop up on your home screen. Like if you set them to a certain time, at 3 p.m. you get a notification that's like, you have this assignment due tonight. Sure. Digitally still, but a little bit easier to see than having to like unlock your phone and go to a calendar. Sure, setting those reminders to pop up so that they're resurfacing. I think that's the idea, is the resurfacing. Yeah. When I walk out the door, I see this thing or the notification on my phone. I had one student that did a whole semester like wall calendar. She just like printed it out each month and like taped them up so she could see it at a glance. Some people like just the Monday through Friday, like weekly dry erase, so that you can just kind of focus on just a few things at a time. Yeah. It depends on how your brain works. Yeah. That's a good point. I do feel like some people focusing on just the week is easier to maintain and keep going, whereas some people would rather look at the whole month
and organize it that way. But I think you're totally right. It depends on how your brain works and how much information you want to have right in front of you at once.
Two tools that I love recommending. I don't get any referral benefits or is Google Keep. If you have a Gmail account, you have access to Google Keep. It is essentially digital sticky notes that you can color code, and you can make checklists on them. So I often will have like a grocery list on one note, and then I'll have, maybe some errands I need to run on another note, and you can check them off as you complete them or as I'm shopping in the store. I sometimes like to think in buckets, and so having an app that allows me to have all these different notes makes sense to me. Again, it's okay if it doesn't make sense to you, but something to try would be Google Keep. Marin said before we started the episode, said that she had never heard of it.
I had never heard of it, and now I'm going to try it.
Yeah, I showed it to her. It's pretty fun. Another one that I am pretty obsessed with is Structured. I actually don't use it personally, but I recommend it for people that don't like to be so structured. Ironic that it's called Structured. But if you're talking to me in my office and you say that it's just really stifling or suffocating to feel like you have to be in the library studying from 3 to 5, like you just don't really want to commit to that when we're working on a schedule for you, I think Structured is a great app for people like that like more fluidity with their schedule. So you put in the building blocks, right? Like you need to study X amount of hours a week. And so you put the chunks in, but then you're able to move them. So say you're going to go to the library Monday morning, but it's your friend's birthday and you want to run to Chick-fil-A instead, you can move it. So you can say, it helps you say, can I fit this in, right? Because if you don't have room to move it later, you're going to second guess, where am I going to put this?
Yeah.
And it's just very easy to move around the things that you've put into your calendar.
Mm-hmm. Which I think that's an important part is if it's easy to do, you're more likely to do it.
Yeah. So. It's so true. Students teach me new things all the time. So if you guys have tools that you love using, Academic Coaching wants to know about them. So feel free to comment and post about which apps, websites, even paper products you love that help you stay organized in college. We have some rapid fire questions to end our episode with. So Marin, I'm going to ask you.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
It's kind of an either or.
Okay.
You already said this one, but paper planner or digital calendar?
Digital, for sure.
Okay. To-do list or calendar blocking?
To-do list.
Okay. Morning planning or night before planning?
Night before. For sure.
Okay. Sticky notes or reminders app?
Oh, that one's a tricky one because I always want to go for sticky notes, but I tend to lose them. So we're going to go with the reminders app.
Real talk.
Yeah.
Color coding, helpful or overwhelming?
For my notes in class, helpful. For figuring out, like, for organization of my assignments and stuff, I would say overwhelming because then I get obsessed with which colors to use. And, like, does this go with this color or this color? So definitely I'd say overwhelming. I
used to get upset when my planner, like, it couldn't be perfect because I had to change stuff and then it would look messy or, like, not be colored right. So if you're a perfectionist and you need permission, it doesn't have to be perfect. Just, it's okay. You don't have to color code it. One app that you couldn't live without?
Google Calendar.
Okay.
For sure.
One organization habit you're proud of?
Oh, that's a good one. I would say... I would honestly stick the Google Calendar thing. I'm very adamant about whenever I learn about something, whether it's an assignment, whether it's an event, whatever, I immediately put it in my calendar. I don't wait. I don't think I'll put it in there tonight. I immediately put it in. And then if I need to change the time or if I need to change the color, I can do that later. But that way I don't forget about it. It's already in there. And I have become so reliant on it. When someone asks me if I am available a certain day, I just like totally trust it. I'm like, yes, according to this, I am. So I would say just the timing of putting in right away when you learn about it. I've been very, very good about that, and I'm proud of it.
You should be. You've built your system and it's working.
Thank you.
Yeah. What is one thing on your desk right now?
I'm one of those people, I don't like to have a lot of things on my desk. I get overwhelmed if there's a lot of clutter and things on it. I do have a lot of sticky notes on it. We'll go sticky notes and pencils.
Okay.
Yeah.
Favorite study location?
Definitely, it used to be cafes, like Starbucks or one of the like local cafes. Lately, though, I have loved libraries, not just like the campus library, but like local libraries. I've really enjoyed discovering new like public libraries and going to different ones. I've been going to like the one in my hometown that's been really nice. The UNG ones are obviously very nice as well. I just can't do the noise anymore, like background noise I used to love. Now I'm just like complete silence. So
Okay.
yeah.
What is one small habit that makes your week easier?
One small habit that makes my week easier. Going into it knowing things are probably going to change, I would say, is a big one. Like I can look at my schedule and I can kind of have an idea of what's going to happen. But things change, things get moved around, plans, move. So just like knowing that I have a structure, but that it's okay if it changes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for joining us for our Wings Up segment. We hope that you gleaned some tips and tricks that you want to try for staying organized, or that you want to lean into harder to be more consistent with your habits. Let us know what's working for you. And if it's not working, schedule with academic coaching and we'll talk about it.
Yeah.
See you next time.